yards into the end zone.
Yeah.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee on the yard line.
What's bro gonna do? What's bro gonna do?
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Pads are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. He's to the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They get it to him running left. And he'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Wentz now on third and goal. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Brandon Marshall with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
You just disrespected me. I am angry. I'm hot ass.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown,
you know,
Philadelphia.
I just felt disrespected. You taking my quarterback.
And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Boy, what a job there. Fourth down that far away from the end zone just to get it in, get that done.
An unlikely result, but it occurred nonetheless. But a terrific play. Great way to finish and in the end zone.
And the defense has to be scratching.
To their advantage in that situation, they should be able to make a play on the ball. But instead, it turned out to be a touchdown. And maybe I go figure it out on their sideline. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now first and 10 at the 40. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll pitch this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, yo, let's go, let's go.
On play action, it's Keenum. Sliding out of the pocket. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Yeah, man.
On third and long, it's Keenum. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Get over there. Go.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Von Miller coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. On third and long, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. Now Wentz throwing on second down. That is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on third and goal. They'll try to run with a Johnny. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Back to throw, Keenum. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Wentz going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Shows up how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. Let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Keenum. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale? All the coaching staff, offensive line, receivers, knives off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a...
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 41 yards. They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Complete out right to Jake Butt. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but...
And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos get a bit closer. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down, inbounds, for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but... guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skill.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 75 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that is how you retaliate after getting scored on one play, big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like two boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, what a move. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. From the gun, here's Keenum. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw here is incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Keenum flushed out right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Again, it's Keenum. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Chris Long in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
22.
Third and long, it's Keenum. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They do snap it to Keenum. Steps away. Now he's going to let it go. And this is caught. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 40 yards. And the Broncos cut into that lead. And it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This is Ajayi. This one up to about the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On first and 10, here's Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer,
and the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Von Miller getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. From midfield, here's Wentz. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron J. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Chris Long in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They will go for it. It's Keenum. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Fresh off the pick six. Here's Keenum. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Out of the gun, Keenum. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran around.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's intercepted.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Dropped at the 35. Able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Throwing now is Keenum. Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The final shot before half for Keenum. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Wentz now on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, as that fell harmlessly to the ground. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now Wentz on third down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part went to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's second and 10. Second and 10. Keenum here again. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Throwing is Keenum on third down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. To throw is Keenum. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They go play action here on first down. And his pass, incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On 2nd and 10, Keenum. He'll buy some time right. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. From the red zone now, Keenum. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Long able to disrupt yet another pass play, his third sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Keenum. Out to his left. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jake Bunt, 26 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing is Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. He finds an opening past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creep.
Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll let this thing go. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Here's Wentz to throw, rolling to his left. And this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They run with Ajayi. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Wentz. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sets.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. Knocked down. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming out all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game. The one who's losing right now. Four steps to his left. Throw inside complete. It's Lindsay. He'll go down before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice touchdown.
He's going to flip a gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Keenum to throw.
Way to make a play on the ball.
It falls down incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Here we go on 4th. Keenum. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And yes, folks, that is his 5th interception, a new NFL record.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. I just have to flat out applaud him. What a great effort in this game. But let's face it, when you look back at the numbers of guys who have had 4 in the past, you'll find the names of some of the greats and some guys who just had a fantastic game.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Wide open receiver complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And that'll be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. It's over the middle. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 36 yards
lagging. Don't lag. Don't fucking lag.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? But this one wasn't sleeping, maybe just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now if they stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Now it's Keenum here off the bootleg. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Brandon Graham in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action. Now Keenum. Sutton drilling it in on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On play action, it's Keenum. They'll roll him out right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air. Keenum on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing is Keenum. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. Here's Ajayi. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. They run for it with Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down. Now Wentz on third down. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. On second down, here's Wentz. And this is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Wentz now to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he gets it down to the 32. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. He may try and run. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
46 down, man. 5-4.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do?
Now it's a Ajayi. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ram. Straight 15.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
82.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.
Squad up. Maybe it just got real. That was a good game, though. It was a tough cookie.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy. I'm waving at you, boy. Ran off on the two like True Goy. Imagine me, dude, boy. You could never.
We could definitely hop on tomorrow.
shit, just strike me, just fuck it and invite me to whatever.
Yep. Did you download Apex?
Nah, I ain't download that. But if you gonna hit me up on my phone first, want me to download that, and I'll download that.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just download that hoe.
Alright, nigga, I'll do that shit.
Yes, sir.
Alright, bro.
Already.
Alright, go.
One.